After Trump's $100,000 policy mandating US employers to pay a compulsory fee for all H-1Bs, there's yet another visa directive that's been making headlines over the week, and it's got everybody intrigued. So if you were planning to go to the US at any point, this is going to be super important and helpful. Let's get into it. And the real question is, can obesity get your visa delayed or denied? And the answer used to be no, up until now that the department has introduced new guidelines to health review. Earlier, only communicable diseases like TB could get your application rejected. But now the range has expanded quite a bit. It goes from cardiovascular diseases to neurological dysfunctions to obesity, hypertension, diabetes, etc. All of these diseases can also get your visa rejected. I was in a conversation with a student who is in the process of naturalizing as an American citizen, where I got to learn about her concerns regarding slightly raised levels of cholesterol. Now, I am talking about a woman who is perfectly fit in her early 30s, but I can understand the panic. People everywhere, not just in the US, but also abroad, have been panicking a lot since these guidelines were rolled out because of two reasons. But the administration sees it as a way of focusing on US federal spending. And from the Secretary of the State, Marco Rubio, this has been released. Quote, consular officers are instructed to treat common chronic illnesses, including obesity, cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, and mental health conditions as negative factors when deciding whether an applicant is likely to become a public charge. Now, they're using the term public charge to refer to people who come into the country and then use government support to get expensive treatments. But the confusion is the way in which it will be done, because the policy does give an extraordinary amount of discretionary power to the consular officers. I mean, the officer would be handed the responsibility of checking a person's medical history, something that doesn't quite sound like their day-to-day job. And this could be a little arbitrary. People are definitely speculating. Now, the second point about this policy would be the extension. Who does it extend to? Does it also extend to the dependents of an applicant? And yes, it does. The dependents of an applicant would also have to go through a medical screening and present their medical history before the consular officer for them to get a decision. So it is not just for the applicants, but also for the dependents, even for the kids. The family's medical history in totality would be considered, among other reasons, to make a decision. Now, another question that's been on everyone's mind is about student visas, and does the policy extend to student visas as well? And the answer is no. The directive does not talk about student visas at all, but maybe it might extend to those visas as well in the future. Now, the only way out of this situation, if you or any of your family members have these diseases, is to have a private health insurance, because that is the point of concern for the authorities. I've listened to a bunch of videos on the subject before making my video, and I also went through the comment section. I see the panic is palpable. People are talking about all sorts of things, but the comment section can be pretty amusing. People are also talking about how the US might start a fad where people would finally start taking their health, diet, and gym seriously, and how the stuff that we discussed during COVID time, that our health is going to be the next passport, just got real.